number 13 Iowa Hawkeyes, making the 2.5-hour trip to take on the Cyclones of Iowa State. And getting ready, one of those the fans have come to see. Running back Tavian Banks, who has quickly become a legitimate Heisman candidate. All he's done in 2 games is rush for 517 yards and 6 touchdowns. The leading rusher and scorer per game in the nation. He has his eye on a 2,000-yard season for the Hawkeyes. And a chilly starting lineup. The offensive line for Iowa. Chad Deal has taken over for Ross Burba, who was a first-round draft pick in the NFL. Done a nice job. That's a solid offensive line for Hayden Fry. The receivers, you know about Tim Dwight. All everything, great returner. He's a man who defenses have keyed on, though, so far this year. His numbers not as high as last year. Tavian Banks, of course, the leading rusher and scorer per game in the nation. So it's 2nd and 5 for the Hawkeyes. Banks straight ahead on the counter. He's got room. They may not catch him. Tavian Banks on the second play from scrimmage. Inside the 20. Forget about it. Touchdown, Iowa. An 82-yard touchdown run by Banks to get the Hawkeyes on the board. Zach Kramer with the extra point. And it is good. He was a Heisman candidate coming in. Done nothing to hurt it so far. Berger and Banks in the backfield. 3rd and 6. Sherman straight drop. Has plenty of time. Man open over the middle. It's Dwight. Nice catch across the 40 up to the 42. That's a first down. And Matt Sherman had way too much time. Jason Baker, the freshman, on for his 2nd punt. Kevin Wilson back deep. And this one's a good one. And Iowa downs it inside the 5 at the 2-yard line. Defensive front for Iowa, very solid. Jared DeVries led the Big Ten in tackles for loss a year ago with 22. He's number 1 in Iowa history in terms of those. 2 good linebackers, too. Matt Hughes and Vernon Rollins. And a secondary with Kerry Cooks and Ples Atkins that has been around. From the 3 on 3rd and 9. Under pressure, DeVries got there. He throws it away. Fortunate to get that ball off. It was DeVries and Jason House putting the pressure on Todd Bandauer. Dwight in motion to the far side. The give to Berger straight ahead. The big fullback, he's got a lot of room inside the 25 down to the 22-yard line. Dustin Avey made the tackle, the leading tackler for the Cyclone defense, but a gain of 23 for Berger. A senior. Counter to Banks. A lot of room to the end zone. Touchdown.
I want you to watch the linebackers on the other side once it starts. They will come over this way before they can react. The play starts and it comes back. Watch this. There it goes. Boom. Linebackers roll that way. They come backside. Nobody home. Get a block from the tight end. Touchdown.
So Banks already over 100 yards on the afternoon. 104 yards rushing. Romer with the extra point. It is good. It has been all Tavian Banks so far, as you may have expected. Well, and here's a guy who was a great soccer player in high school, had a chance to play on the national team, but he talked about the similarities between the 2 sports to us.
Soccer has helped me out a great deal during football because in soccer you have to keep your head up to see where defenders are coming and see where your teammates are at so you can pass them the ball. And in football you always have to keep your head up because you want to see where defenders are coming and where linebackers and everybody else is coming so you can juke them. And in soccer you have to juke people on the soccer field too, but you got to do it with a soccer ball at your feet. But in football you're just carrying one, so it's 10 times easier, and that's how it happens. That's how it helped me out.
You don't have 300-pounders trying to tackle you on the soccer field either. Had to burn 2 timeouts because the play clock was running out. Now under pressure goes to the air. Down there inside the 5, complete and wrapped up at the 4. Kevin Hudson made a touchdown-saving tackle. So 34 yards to Tony Collins.
Right now, watch the quarterback sneak. Here comes Banks.
Banks on the inside, led by Berger into the end zone. 3rd touchdown of the afternoon for Tavian Banks. A lot of experience at the wideout spot. Sherman to throw. This time Tim Dwight to this side. Up the sideline, he's gone. Touchdown, Iowa. Tim Dwight.
Early preseason Heisman candidate. Everybody loves to talk about him but can't stop him. He's a track guy, and if he gets by you, he's got the speed. Look at the balance to stay in bounds. Now he's going to outrun the pursuit. Sprints, long jumps, All-American, outstanding player. Boy, you love to see him with the people, the fans in Iowa City. Throughout the state, he is a hero, and you can see why.
Hometown hero. Received for autographs after each game.
Quality guy,
And
touchdown
signs them
getter.
all. So the touchdown by Dwight, and the Hawkeyes are rolling here in Ames. For the Cyclone. Gibson in motion, the big tight end moving. And our under pressure, had time, no more. DeVries wraps him up for a big loss. Down by 4 touchdowns, you go for it on 4th and 1. Why not? Parmentier, I don't think he got there. The fullback, Joe Parmentier, leaping at the line of scrimmage. It did not appear that he got there, and he did. The Hawkeyes hold on 4th and 1. New backfield right now for the Hawkeyes. Trevor Bowler's the fullback, Rob Time the running back. Sherman the throw, got a man. Dwight is in the end zone. What a catch! What a catch by Tim Dwight.
At the beginning of the show, we said Banks is the spotlight. Sherman runs the show, but the best athlete on the field is Tim Dwight. Now, Sherman, again, puts a lot of air into this ball and lets him run out after it. But I mean, the catch at the other side is big time. That is a great catch, the layout. Look at the fingertip control to pull it in, stay in bounds, and make the touchdown. That is a big-time play from an All-American, Tim Dwight. Plays offense, defense, special teams. He does it all.
On the end of the football, it was already through his hands, and it hung on. What a play by Dwight. Well worth it. Numbers on Bandauer as he comes back to throw under pressure. Down he goes. Back at the 48-yard line. He held on to it. Ryan Lofton came from his defensive end position and got there, but best chance to score so far for Iowa State. 1st and 10 at the 12.
I'd go right after the end zone now.
Going again is Bandauer. They go to the end zone to the tight end, Stenswood, touchdown. And the extra point by Cole is no good. He hooked it. 35-6, the score at halftime. Valvoline halftime 97. Coming up in just a bit. Dean Witter first half stats. There they are, and they're very telling. 339 total yards for Iowa, and look at the rushing yards for Iowa State.
Well, you mentioned all the total yards here, and of course what happens is 117 of those go to Banks. For a positive side, if you look at the Cyclones, no turnovers. That's what's been killing them all season. They didn't have any turnovers and only 1 penalty for 13 yards.
Williams in motion on 1st down. Bandauer under pressure, he held it, and it's LaFleur who is in there to get the sack. State. They split the backs. Parmentier the fullback, O'Neal the tailback. Watley in motion. Play action for Bandauer. He's got plenty of time. This time, good coverage though, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Kramer, who is up still. And holds on to the football as he goes down at the 34-yard line. Jeff Kramer, the junior, a transfer from Notre Dame with the interception. 3rd and 9. Sherman, straight drop. Got Dwight wide open to the corner of the end zone, touchdown.
Yeah, start the engines, turn on the jets. Sherman this time looks at him, knows Dwight's cutting free. Look at the concentration right here. Running to the ball, making the catch, almost too easy. This guy is so special. Preseason Heisman Trophy candidate. They put out pictures with DeVries and Dwight on the poster that they sent out to everybody. He said,
extra point by Romer, up, and it is good. 7 catches on the afternoon for 155 yards for Tim Dwight, and 3 touchdowns. Hawkeyes rolling.
read, react, and attack. Perfect.
Epinesa. Hayden Fry calls him Pete and repeat. Big number 72. And a couple of years in Iowa, Wesleyan, former walk-on here. Samoan village of about 300 people. There goes Bandauer, there goes the football. The Hawkeyes have it. Kramer's on it at the 9-yard line.
You folks, you give Iowa a short field like this, and what happens?
Touchdown City. Matt Hughes got to him and caused the fumble. It was Jeff Kramer recovering.
Banks will have their attention.
Trevor Bowler's now in fullback. And he leads Banks, bounces off the run to the end zone. Well, there's the inside running that we talked about. He's got much better at and much stronger this year.
Now that was impressive. Banks was hit, bounced off, turned the corner, and scored.
He took it 4 yards, but maybe as impressive as any run he's had today.
Said he lived in the weight room over the summer. Watch this. No hole. Gets hit. Bounces outside. Cuts at full speed and takes it into the end zone. They say one of the great attributes he has is he's able to cut without losing much speed. There he took the hit, got to the right, banged in, touchdown.
Bowman's extra point. Splits the uprights again. So Tavian Banks with a huge first half. It continues here in the second half as well. 49-6. The Hawkeyes up big. It was Eddie Podolak who held the single-game rushing record at Iowa until a week ago when Banks posted 314 yards on the board. And we asked Podolak to describe why Banks is so good.
Banks is the best I've ever seen at Iowa. And let me show you what happened here the first time he touched the ball this season. This is a fake reverse, and Iowa's not even going to block the strong safety and the cornerback. Here they are right here. They were hoping they were going to go with the flow. There's nobody out to block him. And look what he does here. They don't even touch him. He goes 67 yards for a touchdown. Phenomenal moves, phenomenal speed. As I said, he's as good as I've seen.
Ball resting on the 5-yard line. O'Neal in motion. Bandauer with time, going to his tight end. Stensrud, what a catch. Andy Stensrud, his second touchdown catch of the afternoon. It's 2nd and 13. Sherman now rearranging things in the backfield. Play action to Banks. Here's Dwight, wide open in midfield. Up the sideline to the 37-yard line. How does he keep getting open? 2nd and 8 now for the Hawkeyes. A lot of time again. This time it's picked off, though. Derek Clark with the interception up the 26-yard line. Green in motion. Bandauer to throw under pressure. To the intended receiver. Picked off by Kerry Cooks. He's gone.
Well, you can't hang this one on Bandauer. This ball's well thrown. All right, and there's your tight end Gibson. Can't hold on to it, and then the interception. Once the receivers go down, then Cooks can just walk in with it.
Kerry Cooks takes it to the end zone, and the Hawkeyes continue to roll here in Ames.
He might have some stomach cramps right now. He's hurt.
4th and 6 instead of 4th and 1 now. Doesn't matter anyway. Well, it does. He wouldn't have been passing perhaps, but Bandauer goes down. Lost back to midfield. Jason House got there right away for the sack. 56-13, and the Hawkeyes take over. Randy Reiner's in at quarterback. Give to Robson, who's still up, breaks outside. Finally wrapped up.
Kevin Hudson.
And never really brought down. He just fell down eventually. Kevin, and you had no idea what that was on the tight shot, did you? Bandauer, a long afternoon. He goes down on the sack. Brian Lofton got him on the sack. And another 4th down try. 2 of 5 on the afternoon. A deep drop this time for Bandauer. He has time. He has Watley in the end zone. Touchdown. Dan McCarney's team taking some positives away from this one. So 3rd and long. We've seen the Hawkeyes in this spot a lot in the second half, at least after the first couple of possessions. Reiner open this half up. Reiner's this time with loads of time. He's got a man down at the 20. Gibson is still up to the end zone. What a catch after the throw, and what a run. 58 yards for Damon Gibson.
Just when you say they're doing a lot of good things and they haven't quit, Iowa steps up and once again shows the superior talent.
Boy, the arm of Reiner's to get him the football, but then Gibson did it all by himself.
He does have a gun, doesn't he? Watch Ansley, number 20, comes and doesn't wrap his arms. And so Gibson breaks the tackle, keeps his balance, gets his feet back under him, and goes in for the touchdown.
So Damon Gibson with a touchdown catch. The Hawkeyes back on the board again. Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. No surprise, Tavian Banks of Iowa And Andy Stensrud of Iowa State, couple of touchdown catches by Stensrud, 7 catches overall for 91 yards. Banks 127 yards, 4 touchdowns. He could have run for a lot more had they played him throughout the game. But Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. 30 and counting in this one. And Miller carries it to the near sideline. So another win for Iowa. They will move to 3-0 with a 63-20 win over the Iowa State Cyclones. The rivalry, well, now they've won 15 in a row, so Iowa has dominated on a chilly afternoon here in Ames. Aiden Fry in game number 400 gets win 136 as the Iowa head coach. He's beaten his former assistant coach Dan McCarney once again. For Tim Brandt and Lewis Johnson, I'm Terry again, and hope you enjoyed it here in Ames this afternoon. So long, everybody. The Comfort Classic, don't forget, coming up tomorrow from Indianapolis.